Hey guys, today we are going to be driving from Porto to Madrid, which is about 560 kilometers, and it will take about, according to the estimate, 6 hours. I will drive a bit faster, so we might get there a bit earlier, but we do have to stop, and the Tesla has suggested 2 supercharging stops on the way. The first stop is going to be about 12 minutes and the second stop about 20 something minutes, but as you know, I always like to charge it a bit longer because 12 minutes is really not very long to charge, so I will charge it a little bit longer, maybe have a toilet break and order some food or something, and I'll show you around. This is the first time that we are driving to Madrid. I've never been to Madrid actually, so not even just driving but actually visiting Madrid, and we are going with our friends who are visiting us from Lisbon, also South African and moved to Lisbon. And so this car is now fully loaded with 5 passengers. Unfortunately, you guys won't see much of Finley today because he's actually sitting in the back with the back passengers. This car is fully loaded with 5 passengers, 4 people, and my dog, who is only 2 kilograms, a trunk and frunk full of storage as well. So we'll look at how that impacts the range. As usual, I will give you guys an update on the highway as well as entering into Spain on this direction, because last time we went, if you haven't watched my video on that, we went to Vigo, which is in the northern part of Spain in Galicia, but this time we're going to Madrid, so it's a completely different direction. I've never driven on this road before, so it'll be interesting to see what this looks like, and I will show you guys an update of when we cross the border into Spain, as well as when we're approaching the supercharger station. I'll show you guys the supercharger stations that we stop at in Spain. And if you like this content, as usual, please click the like button and subscribe, and if you have any comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I'll try and get back to you, and we'll see you guys when we're on the highway. Okay guys, we've been driving for about an hour now, and it's been quite an interesting drive. I've never driven east into the interior of Portugal, and as you can see, it's very picturesque. A lot of trees, a lot of the scenery looks like painting. Unfortunately, my autopilot, not my autopilot, but my cameras stopped working, but this time not just the left one, but the right one as well. So I'm wondering whether it is like the wind that goes along the side of the car against the wing, like those side cameras, causing it to go off, because it only happens when I'm driving at higher speeds. The consumption has been pretty high. Granted, I have been driving pretty fast just so that we can reduce the time for us to get there. I was incorrect about my statement earlier saying that both charging stops will be in Spain. The first charging stop is actually in Portugal, in Guarda, and that's about 30 kilometers out from the border of Spain and Portugal, as you can see on the map over here. So it looks like there's 7 chargers available there, and shortly after that we'll be driving to Salamanca for more charging. I will be charging a little bit more than recommended because I need to use the charge when we get to Madrid, and also because I drive a bit faster, it won't allow me to drive the speed that I want if I only charge the minimum amount. So I'll show you guys when we get to the Guarda supercharger. Never been there before, never been into the interior of Portugal, and this is the first time. It looks like it's very foresty and natural. If you guys know a little bit about the population and geography of Portugal, it's quite similar to Spain in the sense that most of the developed cities are along the coast, with Madrid actually being the exception in the middle, and the rest of Spain actually pretty much uninhabited, only on the coastlines and north south parts of Spain. So in that way it's kind of similar to Portugal. Apparently there were some inter-country initiatives to try build the interior of both Spain and Portugal to increase some economic activity in those areas, but it doesn't seem to be very successful. So most of the interior of Portugal, if you look at the map over here, is mostly just forest and farmland. Same with Spain. But anyways, I'll let you guys know when we are arriving in Guarda at the supercharger, and I'll show you guys around, and I'll also have to reset my DAS system again. My passenger actually wanted to see how Autopilot works because he hasn't actually seen it in action, so I'm going to show him Autopilot on the highway, because on the highway it works perfectly, as you guys know, until one of the cameras stopped working. So anyways, I will see you guys when we get to the supercharging stop. So we are arriving at Guarda supercharger, And as you can see, all of a sudden the weather took a turn for the worst. It was sunny the whole way, and now it seems to be foggy and cloudy and misty. So I'm wondering whether this is going to be the next few days in Madrid. I hope not. We did take a look at the weather report, and it did look like it was going to be clear skies, but it's going to be really cold, like -1 or 2 degrees, and on the low side up to about 9. So let's see how that is. Not as cold as when I was in Berlin, because that was consistently cold, like -1 to 2. So if you haven't seen that video, check that one out as well. I do get to review a Macan, the Porsche Macan EV, so that's pretty cool. I also made a review video as a separate video, so check those out if you like that type of content. So we are arriving at the Supercharger, but I think I might have taken the wrong turn, because now I am back on the highway, so I need to take another turn off to get back on and do a U-turn back. So now we have taken the reverse direction, and I need to make sure that I take this turn off in Pinyel, and it doesn't seem to be too far off the highway, and there are 6 Superchargers available. I think earlier it said 7, so there might be at least one person there. I don't know how many charging stalls there are. It looks like 8. Okay, 8 charging stalls, and it's a 150 kilowatt maximum. Doesn't seem to be a very fast supercharger, but this is the turn off I need to take right now. I think I must have missed something earlier, which made me have to do that long detour. But this trip has been pretty cool. It's been very natural, a lot of changing terrain. Initially there was a lot of forestry, green and slightly autumn colors, but it started changing as it seemed like we went up in altitude, and it became a lot rockier. So there was a lot of rocky landscapes, but it has been a pretty interesting drive, very different to what I normally see going down south to the Algarve and also going north into Vigo last time. We are arriving now in the Supercharger. It seems to be in this little town here, and today has been very quiet on the highway because it's actually Christmas Day. So we're driving on Christmas Day, and the highways have practically been empty. It's been quite a pleasant drive, and also, as you can see, no one's out and about because I think people are relaxing at home while we are doing a 6-hour road trip to Spain. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll show you guys what the Supercharger has. It is only up to 150 kilowatts, so I think it's the V3 Superchargers. Tesla hasn't been able to launch more Superchargers in Portugal due to the laws that they've brought into place. So a lot of the Superchargers are still V2, V3. So the quickest ones only go up to 250 kilowatts. We don't have the really nice ones that got launched in the US recently. So this actually seemed to be further in than I anticipated, but it's still, I would say, maybe 5 minutes from the highway after you exit. Okay, so it looks like it's down there near the hotel. So, up there, and then I don't see any signage. Normally at this point there's signage, but it's in here apparently. Oh, it's inside this hotel, Lusitania. Okay, so Superchargers are down there. You can see that there's one Tesla down there, and we need to charge for 19 minutes, but we'll probably relax for a little bit longer, probably charge for maybe 40 minutes or up to close to 100%. Wow, there's a lot more people now than what it said on the app. Let me get into this other chargers there on the side so that we are not splitting with anyone, because these are the old chargers, so they split with your neighbor, and you want to make sure that you don't split so that you can get the full charging speed. For my car it is 170 kilowatts, and this charger can do 150, so that's how much we're going to be charging at. So let me show you guys around and I'll do a range review. I'm going to go plug my car in. As you can see, this is one of the older chargers with the 2 charging cables. See, there's 3 other Teslas over there, and it's at this hotel. And we can see it's starting to charge. Before I depart, I'm also going to reset my camera system, but let's do a range review first. Basically, we left with 100% battery, and we arrived with 4.2%, which means we used almost everything, 95.7%. And this was because I was driving quite quickly. As you can see, 24.8% higher than predicted, and compared to rated range, I use 40.5% more than the rated range. But as I've said to you guys multiple times before, this rated range is impossible to achieve if you're driving on the highway. This is more for combined driving in a city and highway. But the trip is what it predicts based on my driving, the distance that I'm going to be driving and where I'm going to be driving. So I did drive much more than if I drove more conservatively. Here is the figures: 217 kilometers in about 106 minutes and 238 watt-hours per kilometer. On the screen you will see the average consumption and what the predictive maximum range is if I drove all the way to zero. I was close to zero anyway, so I would say probably 260 kilometers or maybe 270 kilometers. Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys around the hotel to see if there's any amenities here. It's a very strange setup. I haven't actually seen Tesla Superchargers like lined up like this. Usually it's just like, you know, alley dock style. So these two superchargers are quite interesting. But yeah, this is the first time I'm charging a supercharger like this. But we're gonna charge. I'm gonna rest a bit. Had a long night yesterday since it was Christmas Eve, and we're gonna continue our trip. It says 20 minutes to continue the trip, but I'm gonna charge a little bit more, so maybe 40 minutes. So that is where my car is charging, and there's a hotel here. It looks like quite a nice hotel. I think it's a 4-star hotel, Hotel Lusitania, and there is a restaurant in there. But unfortunately Finley is not allowed, so I'm gonna have to drop Finley off in the car quickly with his mommy, and then I'll show you guys inside the hotel. Okay guys, so I've charged to 74% and I have enough to continue the trip. I will arrive at the Salamanca Supercharger with 13% if I drive reasonably, so that gives me confidence that I will be able to make it. I was going to do an unboxing video of this AirPod Max that my girlfriend got me for Christmas, but we don't have enough time that we're going to go. Maybe I'll unbox it at the other place. Unfortunately, the restaurant was closed, and not due to Christmas, but closed because it was between lunch and dinner, so we are actually unable to get any food, but we've got some coffee. And I'm just going to unplug now. I'm going to go and we're going to try to find maybe a gas station that has a vending machine, or maybe a shop that is open so that we can get some snacks for the road. We're actually a little bit ill prepared, so we don't have snacks, but we will hit the road and see if we can find somewhere where we can buy some snacks for the road. You can see that the trunk is very full. Okay, let's go. So it looks like it'll take about an hour and a half for us to get to Tesla Supercharger Salamanca, and that's in Spain. So we'll hit the road. I will show you guys if there's anything interesting that happens on the road. I've reset my driver's assist system, so I will be able to do some autopilot, and maybe I will also film a bit of that because my passenger really wants to see how it works and how well it works. I told him it works flawlessly. I hope it stays like this because you know how these things are. Okay guys, we are almost in Spain. We're about 10 kilometers away now. I demonstrated to my passenger autopilot properly for the first time. Obviously I've got the enhanced autopilot, which allows me to change lanes just like this. Obviously I have to, because of EU laws, we have to engage it manually as well as nudge the wheel when we change lanes. He was very surprised to see how smooth it was. I mean, we were about to enter quite a high curvature here, and I told him, you know, I'm so used to it, like I don't get nervous at all. Although, like telling you this now, I actually felt a bit nervous over there. Imagine hitting into the barrier over there. But besides that one time where I was autopiloting back in Porto on that narrow road going downhill where I hit the curb, I haven't really experienced any problems, especially on the highway. On the highway, the autopilot works beautifully. So this does save a lot of energy and time if you are doing longer road trips, and I would highly recommend having an opportunity to test it out if you haven't tested out autopilot before. The only benefit that my one has in terms of having the enhanced autopilot package is the fact that it can change lanes when you initiate it, and also tell you when the turn-offs are, and then you can initiate the lane change when the turn-off is coming up, as well as self-parking, so parking by itself, alley docking, and that works relatively well. I use it like 9 out of 10 times when it's available. No, not just alley docking, also parallel parking works pretty well. But recently there was Smart Summon, or Tesla actually Smart Summon, that was released. I was meant to make a video on it, and I was filming a few segments, trying it for the first time, and then I started getting pretty disappointed when I realized that in the EU there's a law that prevents Smart Summon from working when you're 6 meters or further away from the car, which is very close. Unlike the US, I think in the US you can be 30 meters or something away, and it kind of made the feature a bit useless and a bit of a party trick. But I will probably end up making a video describing how to use it, and maybe a hack on how to use Smart Summon further away, so you don't have to be 6 meters within 6 meters. So watch out for that video, and remember to click the like button and subscribe if you want to see upcoming videos just like that. And yeah, otherwise this drive has been pretty cool. The sun has basically set now, so we're going to be driving through the night into Madrid. We are about probably 5 kilometers away from Spain now. Then this road, the A25 in Portugal, leads into Spain. I'm not sure if it's still called the A25 when it's in Spain. Let me check on the map over here. Oh no, it's actually 66, Route 66 or Road 66. I don't know what the nomenclature is in Spain. But yeah, we've been using Autopilot ever since I reset those cameras, and I haven't had any problems since. Fingers crossed it stays like this, because I'm really enjoying this relaxing drive, and I think my passengers are starting to get accustomed to Tesla driving itself. Anyways, I will show you guys once we cross the border and once the signs change. The first time I went into Spain via the north into Galicia, going to Vigo, I was quite surprised to see how much of a difference the signs were, and everything was different. And I might not have that same reaction this time, but I'm curious to see how our passengers who have been living in Portugal for almost 6 months have their first impressions of Spain being when they arrive. So I'll put the camera back on when we cross the border, and we'll see you guys later. Okay, we have crossed the border into Spain. That was very sudden. There was no massive sign, it was just a small Euro España sign. So as you guys can see, the road signs are different. This speed limit sign doesn't have a wide rim around it. As far as I remember, everything was a lot lower as well. All the signs are a lot lower in altitude or height compared to in Portugal. And you'll start seeing that the road markings sometimes are slightly different. The sign over there is very different, font is very different. I like to call it the Comic Sans font. It looks very comical. Oh, the signs are definitely shorter. I mean, these signs definitely seem a bit lower, and everything seems a bit bolder as well. So like almost Arial bold or Comic Sans bold. It's not Comic Sans, I think it's like Arial, but it's just very bold. It looks very comical. But anyways, we are about 1 hour and 9 minutes away from the Salamanca Supercharger, and I've never been there. Oh yes, also there's bridge sides. I've never seen bright blue, like, or navy blue bridge sides in Portugal before. Usually it's green, so that's also another difference as well. But we're going to take this in relaxing drive. Hopefully Autopilot works most of the way, and we'll catch you guys when we reach Salamanca. It's getting a bit dark now, so we'll probably do less driving footage. Okay, so auto steer aborted due to system error. Okay, I can re-enable it, no problem. Cool, there seems to have been some glitch over there. But anyway, so it's starting to get dark now, so we're probably going to do less in-cabin footage, and I'll show you guys when we get to Salamanca. I'll be there for the first time, just like how we were at Guarda earlier. Cool, we'll see you guys just now. So we have arrived in Salamanca, and I took the first turn off towards the Supercharger. It seems to be a bit away from the highway, so we're taking this turn off and about 8 kilometers away. So I wonder if this is into the town or something. As you can see, Finley has returned to the front seat because he did not like the back seat, and he wanted to be part of the show as well. So make sure you click the like button and subscribe if you like seeing Finley, because he seems to be the main star of the show, not me. Anyway, so it's gonna be another 8 minutes or so until we arrive at the supercharger, I am currently on 10%. I should arrive with 6%. It was actually great that I didn't have to charge to full, because I think I charged to 74%, because as you guys know, the last 20% and especially the last 5% takes forever. So we did save some time leaving a bit earlier there. There was no reason for us to be there because the restaurant was closed between lunch and dinner hours. So hopefully we will find something at this supercharger. I still don't know what's there, so we'll show you guys around when we arrive. One thing that I forgot to mention was that in the beginning we were kind of planning to see if there were sites on the way between Porto and Madrid. And on Google, there's a new feature that allows you to see what is along the route. And we did see a few things, but mostly closer to Madrid than closer to Portugal, because in Portugal, you'd have to kind of go off the path a bit to see those sites. Most of the sites seem to be historical landmarks or churches. So we might go to one on the way, but I mean, not this time, because it's actually getting really late. By the time we get to Madrid, it's really dark. So it's probably nothing going to be open, as well as the fact that it's Christmas Day. So I don't think anything's going to be open. And yeah, so I think if you guys are doing a long road trip, remember to check out Google Maps beforehand and use the feature to explore along your route. And if there's anything interesting along the way, it does highlight it and you can add it to your trip. You can't really send that route to the Tesla navigation. So if you had your phone on, you can keep your phone on, or you can, like, I got this accessory here which allows CarPlay, so I'll use CarPlay to get that and then just slightly go off the route. But otherwise, this drive has been pretty pleasant. Every time we drive into Spain, everything feels slightly different. Like, for some reason, like, you know, things are slightly different because obviously it's built and managed by a different country, and the slight differences you can definitely feel. And for example, this radar thing looks similar to the Portugal one, but it's actually completely different as well. It's much bigger. So I do think that they warn you a bit further ahead in Spain than Portugal. It could be a legislative thing. The way here, since the border of Spain has been pretty much unpopulated, and we kind of started seeing a bit of civilization here in Salamanca. It looks a bit industrial, I must say, and I'm not sure where the supercharger is. It says on this road the Madrid is 213 kilometers away, so I think we have to pass through here anyways. It looks like we're gonna go to this big roundabout after the small roundabout, and the supercharger will be at the exit of that roundabout. So if you guys have been here, let me know for next time when we come, if there's anything cool to do here, or if you're from Salamanca, let me know in the comments below as well. It's always nice to see where my viewers are from. I know most of you guys are in the US and Europe, so it's always nice to hear your own experiences, and if you drive a Tesla in Europe as well. Okay, so we're entering this giant roundabout. It is absolutely massive. As you guys can see, it's only 2 lanes, but it is huge in terms of diameter or radius. And I don't know why they made it this big, but there's nothing in the middle. In Portugal, sorry, I forgot to turn on the lights, you guys probably couldn't see my face, but in Portugal, usually there'll be a massive monument in the middle in such a big roundabout here. Although, I don't know anything about this place, so oh, it looks like there's a highway underneath, but I'm not sure if that impacts why this circle or roundabout specifically was so big. But anyways, I'm entering the exit, Zona Comercial. That's actually quite similar to Portuguese with the superchargers. It looks like it's going to be inside this mall or something, because if I turn here, this thing says E Leclerc, and then I'm going to turn onto this roundabout. It looks like a very industrial area, and no one seems to be here. I wonder if anyone's charging. It says 5 charging stalls available. Not sure if 3 are taken or whether they're not working, but we are about to find out. Oh, there it is. It's in the parking lot of this mall. Is this a mall? I've seen E Leclerc in Portugal before, but not as a mall format, just as a billboard. So I'm not actually sure what this is. Is the entrance through here? Okay, so it seems like the entrance is through here, and I'm going to be charging alongside my fellow Spaniards. Oh, there's actually slower chargers over there and then superchargers on this side. That's very interesting. Oh, they got the V4 chargers. I think these are the V4. This is much quicker. It doesn't split. Spain doesn't have the same problem as Portugal with the laws where it's preventing Tesla from releasing more superchargers. So they do seem to have a lot more superchargers and a lot newer superchargers. So we're going to be able to charge a bit quicker here, maybe up to 170 kilowatts. But anyways, I'm going to plug my car in now, and I don't know if you can see on the screen over there, I've been autopilot struck because I was showing my passenger something. I was looking at him instead of looking in front of the road, and I will give you guys an update on the range and the distance and consumption, but after I plug my car in, because it's currently at 7%. This is very interesting here because it seems like they have these Tesla chargers as well in case the chargers are full, or if you don't want to supercharge and you want to slow charge if you're going to the mall or something. I'm still not certain whether this is a mall. It seems to be a mall. There you go. So it's going to be charging. There are three other people here charging, but it does seem very quiet here. I just got a notification on my phone saying that it was not fully connected. Okay, no, it is fully connected now. But yeah, welcome to Spain, guys, and let me know if you guys have been to this supercharger before, because you know I've never been here and it seems to be the parking lot of this mall. I'll go do a little bit of exploring. I don't think anything's open anyways because it's Christmas Day. Back in the car, interestingly, after I got autopilot struck and I started driving again, my camera stopped working. My theory is that when I drive faster, the wind pressure or the wind resistance actually causes it to brake or something. I have no idea, so I need to take a look into that, or maybe send my car in for service. But right now my car is actually charging at the maximum speed, 173 kilowatts. I actually thought 170 was the maximum, so this is pretty cool. 1,123 kilometers an hour, and that's really fast. And in terms of the consumption, I did 159 kilometers in just over 76 minutes at 232 watt hours per kilometer, which is not as bad as what I was doing in the first leg of the trip. I did 67.9% consumption, which is only 6.1% more than the projected consumption, and compared to rated 27.2. So here is the theoreticals of my average speed, as well as how long it took me and how much I could go with 232 watt hours per kilometer. Okay guys, we are gonna unplug now. Even though I need to charge to 100, I think it's okay if I charge to 95. I'll just drive a bit slower before we reach the destination. Otherwise we're gonna wait another 10-15 minutes for it to get to 100%. So it should be okay. We should make our destination, and there is a charger close to the destination, so we'll take it a bit easy. As you can see, my passengers are enjoying Tesla entertainment, and we're watching this video by challenge accepted on trying out an F1 car. I think it's a really cool video. I'll link it in the video in the description below. Okay guys, we are stopping at the Burger King because nothing seems to be open, and both Tesla charging stops that we went to, the one in Guarda and the one in Salamanca, do not have, I mean, well, actually I lied. The Guarda one had a restaurant. It was just not open because we were there in the wrong time. But it seems like Burger King is open for business on Christmas Day, so we're gonna go grab some stuff from Burger King, and I'll show you guys what we order. So as some of you guys know, my girlfriend's keto, and she got a burger without a bun, and my friend got a Whopper. I got this crazy cheese thing that I'll show you guys, but they were very nice. It was difficult to communicate because in Spain they're not as English proficient, but they had a staff that could speak English. Funny enough, there's an Asian staff. Maybe she could have spoken Chinese with me as well, but they were very helpful and very proactive. They actually, because I had to order it on the system, and then on the system there's no ability to remove the bread basically for the keto option. So I had to tell them which order it was, and she came out and to check which order it was, and quickly went back to the kitchen and told them to make it, and literally took like less than a minute. It was so quick. I mean, it is American fast food, so yeah. And this is what I got, some crazy cheese. Oh, it's cheese and bacon, but it doesn't look like the picture at all. So that was an awesome pit stop here at Burger King. I ordered this beer, which I'll be drinking while I drive, but it is a zero alcoholic beer. It is free dumb. I've had the dumb beers before and they were really good. So let me taste this one. What I love about this thing in front is like a shelf. Like this dashboard is completely flat. Look, I can put my beer here and I can just leave it there. I've used that as a shelf for my dinner before. So for long road trips, this is great. I'm also going to reset this thing quickly. So under software, you hold down the model 3 or whatever model that you have in your car. And then the password is service. It's obviously for the service technicians. Wait. And then you just have to go into the driver assist settings, cameras, and basically reset the system. There should be a reset here. I don't know why it's not showing up right now. Oh, there you go. Reset dash. And then to reset the dash, you have to unlock the GTW, whatever GTW is. If you have an idea, leave it in the comments below. Once it's unlocked for 90 minutes, and you can press reset, and it takes like a second to reset. Sorry, my dog Finley wants to get back into his seats before we go. He's telling me that it's unsafe for us to start the journey without him strapped in. So yeah, so that's gonna be our quick stop here at the Burger King. I had the triple cheese bacon burger thing. It was surprisingly good. I mean, Burger King never disappoints, for me at least. But the bread here specifically seemed to be pretty soft, and it was almost like more butter in the bread because it was a bit yellow, and it was really good, really soft, really creamy. So I mean, I never recommend fast food, but if you're in a pickle like we are, because it's Christmas Day, I can recommend Burger King, because Burger King is open. Burger King is open on Christmas Day. Anyways, we have our remaining trip. This is the last leg of the trip. We are heading straight into Madrid, and we're staying at the Madrid Reina Victoria by Amelia. I think it's a hotel by the Amelia Group, and it says we will arrive in 2 hours and 8 minutes, 211 kilometers. I'm confident we will arrive a little bit sooner than that, but with 8% charge. There is a charger closer to the hotel, a supercharger, but it seems like we don't need to make that pit stop. But I think I might make it to do a quick charge so overnight my car isn't too low, in case it runs out of juice on Sentry mode or something like that. Anyways, we'll see you guys on the other side when we arrive at the next supercharger, and also at the hotel, and we'll show you guys where we're staying, what the hotel looks like. But thank you for watching thus far. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys shortly. And basically, we've also entered an average speed zone, and this new feature from Tesla shows you what your average speed currently is that you're doing, and how long remaining in terms of distance. And I think the average speed is for the duration of this tunnel, which seems to be very long. Wow, super deep over there. Can't see the end from here actually. There's a very nice 3-lane tunnel, and very well lit. A lot of escape paths over here in case you need to stop on the side. But yeah, we are almost in Madrid, about 40 minutes left, 55 kilometers. And because I've been driving a little bit slower, and I was actually driving mostly with Autopilot in the beginning, and then I got struck out because I was busy eating a burger and talking to my friend. So for the first half I was using Autopilot at about 130 kilometers an hour, and now I was driving manually. So I'm going to arrive with 17%, which means I don't have to stop at the supercharger before we stop. It is getting pretty late, so we're just going to go to the hotel and rest and plan our day for tomorrow. And then I'll show you guys the hotel and stuff as well before we wrap it up. But before we do that, when I stop, I will make sure I'll do a final range and consumption review for you guys, considering that it was mostly on Autopilot and it has been pretty flat. The road has been pretty flat compared to most of the journey here, which has been undulating hills up and down. So I think that would have played a big factor in the consumption, because currently the consumption is 218 watt-hours per kilometer on highway speeds, which is on the lower side compared to the rest of the trip, but it's still pretty high compared to some of my other trips where I've done maybe 180, even with pretty at the speed limit basically. So let's see when we arrive and see what the final figures are, and I'll see you guys in a bit. We have finally arrived in Madrid, and all of a sudden it looked really populated and bright, and it seems like it's quite quiet now because obviously it's Christmas Day, the night of Christmas Day. I'm not gonna stop for long to make a range review because we just want to get out of the car and check into the hotel. So I'm gonna go through some of the range and consumption values here before we arrive. But we are arriving with 20% charge because I did drive a bit slower, like I said, and towards the end actually I drove even more efficiently because we were in a little bit of traffic, and we ended up using 182 watt-hours per kilometer for that leg of the trip, and we did 213 kilometers in about 111 minutes. And if you look at the consumption graphs, basically we used 72.6% of the charge, and we used 17.3% more than estimated, and compared to more than rated, sorry, that's rated, more than estimated. I actually used 13.1% less than projected. That means I actually drove a lot more efficiently, which is quite interesting. I think it's a combination of me using Autopilot in the beginning and then towards the end driving a bit slower as well. So, oof, almost went through a red over there. But yeah, Madrid, first impressions, it's very quiet now, but it does seem a lot bigger than, it's obviously a lot bigger than Porto, and also a lot bigger than Lisbon as well. So we're going to be spending a few days here. Sorry guys, it's a bit misty here. And we'll explore the city. I'll show you guys what we did at the end of this video. So we are staying in this neighborhood at the Madrid Reina Victoria hotel. I have to turn left here. Sorry. But there's like left into the pedestrians. Jesus. These police are like in a hurry to go somewhere. Anyways, so this is where we are going to be staying, at the Madrid Reina Victoria by Amelia. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys like this video, as usual, like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. At the end of this video, I'll do a montage of what we got up to and with some voiceovers as well. So if you're interested in the trip, make sure to watch till the end. So here's a tour of our hotel room at and we got the superior room, so slightly bigger with this beautiful, nice big window. You can see during the day a lot of light comes in, and it has a nice view of the plaza downstairs. And basically it is a very central location, so everything's really close by in walking distance. I do recommend it. It is, some of the furnishings need to be renovated, but otherwise overall I think it was a pretty good hotel. And the next day we basically walked around and checked out the sites, checked out the different districts of Madrid, and here are some photos. And we also ate a lot of food. Incidentally, we ate a lot of Asian food. There's a good Asian scene here, hot pot and sushi. And I did some karting at the Carlos Sainz track as well as Los Santos. And here is a preview of the next video where I am charging in Madrid, where they do allow third parties to charge at the Tesla Superchargers. So if you're interested in checking this out, watch out for my next video that's coming up in about a week or so.